Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Prinzer Dub here in the cut, and today I got a special video for you guys today as we go over what's going on with this team right now, what can they do to improve going forward, and also I'm gonna be going over like where this team is right now, go over the ownership, what's going on there, what's going on with Vrabel not firing Downing yet, the injuries, and the preview of the Chargers game. All right, let's get into it. All right, so this is actually my first time doing this on a computer this time and not on my phone, so it actually makes a big difference. But first, I want to go over the Jags and Titans issues. What happened in that game, man? Well, I thought the team started well in the first quarter. We did well. They moved the ball. They were looking to score, and they scored on their first drive. I thought the flea flicker earlier was being a little too aggressive. Um, but you wanted to see something a little different, and we got something a little different. And we seen that same flea flicker play against the Broncos, which I was at that game, and it was pretty cool to see that that Todd Downing is mixing it up at least on some of the plays. Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought the team did well in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden the turnovers happened, and then once the turnovers happened, it was like the team just stopped playing at that point. It's like they just let the Jags just run away with it, and the Jags were not supposed to win that game. They won that game based off of opportunities, which is, in my opinion, they won that game off of opportunities. But it was a tough loss for this team. And it's actually not a tough loss for this team. It's an embarrassing loss for this team. As now you're 7-6, you're still first in the AFC South, but now it's like, okay, can this team get back on track? Can this team win games to get to where they need to be up at a higher level. You want to always be up here when it comes to the playoffs because this is looking like a one and done team. And does anybody really want to see this team in the playoffs right now? I mean, the way they've been playing, well, I'm not sure, but it's not looking too good for this team. But also, I think the reason why a lot of this is going on is because of the injuries. In the NFL, injuries happening. Every player is going to go through injuries. Every excuse me, every player is going to go through injuries. Whether it's your favorite player or not, I mean, they're going to go through injuries. But it's your responsibility as a coach as a next man up mentality, which I think Vrabel has done a very good job of. When it comes to injuries, we've been missing Denico Autry, Christian Fulton, who, in my opinion, is at this point. I mean, I don't know if we keep him. I think we keep him, but man, he's been getting beat in coverage a lot this year. Um, it's not as bad as Roger McCurry. Roger McCurry's a rookie, I get it, but like, come on, like, you got to step up, man. This is the NFL. This ain't college anymore. Come on. Um, but yeah, I think with Christian Fulton out, Nico Autry out, and then you got Zach Cunningham out, and then you got who else you got out? Oh, Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks is out too. Traylon Burks is out too. So yeah, injuries have played a big part in this season. We are actually number one in the NFL when it comes to injuries this season, which I think it was that way last year. I think we had 91 injuries, or 91 players played or something like that last year. This year it's like 81 or something like that. Like it's ridiculous. They need to fire all the medical staff and try to get something else going, which I think Amy Adams is going to look into that. Um, and then maybe get some new medical staff in here because this team is looking unhealthy like every week. Every week we have one big name on this roster that's not playing. I get it. It's not Traylon Burks. He got hurt because of a dirty play, which that dude should be suspended for that hit. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Maybe they wanted to knock him out the game to prove a point that A.J. Brown should have stayed in Tennessee, and we got your boy now, and all that noise. I don't know. um, but yeah, going back to the Jags and Tennessee game, I actually stopped watching this game in the first half because I knew it was going to get ugly. The 4 turnovers, just the miscommunication between Westbrook and Tannehill in that first was it the second quarter? It was the second quarter. And they just, I don't know, they just decided to not play anymore. I don't know. It's just crazy. They let Trevor Lawrence go off, which, I mean, when you got an offensive coordinator like Doug Peterson, I really think he can develop Trevor Lawrence way better than Urban Meyer can. And Doug Peterson's a Super Bowl winning coach. So he knows like what he can do to elevate him because you've seen that with Carson Wentz. You've seen him turn him into an MVP caliber, or I think he was MVP, an MVP quarterback. And he could probably do the same for Trevor Lawrence, who was a young and up and coming quarterback. It's the same way that Carson Wentz was. He was a young and up and coming quarterback. So we'll have to see there. We'll have to see what they can do down there. But I kind of like what they got going, even though they're the rival. I still like how Doug Peterson is kind of developing him. It almost feels like this is his rookie year, and last year wasn't his rookie year. It's just it almost feels like that, honestly. But yeah, Doug Peterson is developing this guy, and he's coming. He's coming. And you look at the draft next year, and you have to wonder, with all these draft picks coming in, Bryce Young going to the Texans potentially, as the first overall pick. So now, if you bring Bryce Young in, now you got to deal with Bryce Young. Now you got to deal with Trevor Lawrence, and who knows? I don't know what the Colts got going on. Um, maybe they get another old quarterback. We'll see. Maybe they need to fire their GM because it's looking like they just keep getting these old quarterbacks. I don't know. We'll have to see there. The Colts are obviously my most hated team because they are the biggest rival. It just makes sense. But that's another topic. That's another topic for another day. We'll have to do a draft or whatever another day. If you want me to do a draft, let me know in the comments. But but man, the turnovers. Derrick Henry had a turnover. Which was he wasn't expecting the hit, but still, you have to wonder where Derrick Henry is right now. Him turning over the football, you just have to wonder where he's at. He still had a good, solid game, in my opinion, but you have to wonder where he is because it's not looking too good for him right now. I think he's fine. I think he's still Derrick Henry, but I think we rely on him too much to the point where it's like, okay, he's starting to maybe come down a little bit. I don't know where he's trending downwards. I'm not sure. But as you get older as a running back, you start getting injuries. You start doing things like that, like turn over the ball because you're not as quick anymore, and you're not as like I don't know. You're just not as quick anymore. You just start having issues holding on to the football. I mean, that's just it happens to all running backs. It happens to AP. It happened to a lot of running backs in this league. Um, but yeah, the fumble was not it. I didn't appreciate that. Derrick Henry, you got to hold on to the football, my guy. Uh, the defense played horrible. The defense played really bad. Danico Autry, we need him back bad. We need Christian Fulton back. Um, but yes, the defense played really bad this game. This is by far their worst game of the year. Actually, no, I guess we could say the Bills game, but this is up there. This is definitely up there for one of their worst games. But to lose to a division rival like this is tough. The defense played bad, but a part of that has to do with injuries. And part of that is just bad bad play calling. Like, what the hell is Bud Dupree doing? Like, why is he playing coverage? Why is he not coming off the edge like he's supposed to and rush the passer? Like, come on. Like, this is why we pay you. And that's something we'll have to see from the new owner when he comes in, looking at Bud Dupree. But yeah, this is looking more and more like this is it for him. Bud Dupree's a good player, don't get me wrong. But when you just have Bud Dupree out there and Jeffrey Simmons with no Danico Autry and no Harold Landry out there, the defense looks different. It just does. which I still think we could have got rid of Harold Landry and kept AJ Brown. Because I mean Harold Landry's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I think when you look at when you look into the NFL nowadays, right? You have to look at it this way, right? Who would you rather get rid of, Jamar Chase or well, actually, I should probably not use that. Hmm. Could we say the Cowboys? Yeah. We'll say the Cowboys. We'll say the Cowboys. Okay, this might be a good example. Would you rather get rid of CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons? See, that's tough, right? It just is because Micah Parsons is a big deal on that defense, but also CeeDee Lamb is a big deal on that offense. So it's tough, but you got to look at who's got more value moving forward, who's more valuable, who's who's gonna win you more games when it comes into um in the moment, who's gonna win you more games. But mainly I think it's who's more valuable to the team and who's gonna get you there quicker. Because nowadays I feel like defense still it wins championships still, but you have to look at it this way. Offensively, offensively, you got to have weapons. You got to have weapons on the offense. You got to have weapons. But I mean, that's just my opinion. You just have to have weapons. Um, you got to have weapons. You got to have a Jamar Chase. You got to have a Justin Jefferson. You got to have a Stephon Diggs, a Tyreek Hill, or a Travis Kelsey. You just got to have. You just got to have those targets to throw to. Um, but yeah, but the Jags, man, they just came in here and did their thing. Um, Hey, we'll play them in the last game of the season. My biggest fear, though, going into um, going into the last game of the season is hopefully we don't have to play for the division title. Hopefully we can just win. I really hope we can just win because we don't. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Which I mean, does anybody? Me personally, I want to go to the playoffs, but I don't want to see this roster. I don't want to see Robert Woods. He's going to be gone next year. He's gonna be gone next year. I don't want to see I don't want to see no Cody Hollister anymore. Which he actually hasn't been out there lately. Did they cut him? I ain't seen him out there lately. Maybe he is. I don't know. I just don't. I don't care. Cody Hollister, like, why are you still here? Please, like, Dennis Daly though is the biggest one. Like the worst, like I said in my last video, he's the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen. I'm sticking by what I said. He is the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen. So we got to get rid of him because, oof, it's not looking good. I'll tell you next video, or actually no, I'll just go ahead and tell you now. Where I think we should go with this. Next year in the draft per se and free agency, I say you draft a lineman, and you go first round pick, and you go first round with a wide receiver. Go get you a Jackson Smith or hell, maybe even a Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee or just something like that. You know, you need a receiver. You need a target to go with Traylon Burks because Traylon Burks is looking more and more like he is going to be the wide receiver one on this team, unless you pick Jackson Smith and then maybe Jackson Smith is the wide receiver one. Although Jackson Smith ain't played this year really, he's only got 43 yards, which injuries have um, got him this season. But I really think that you know you got to go receiver round one. You got to go receiver round one. You can't take a lineman again. We've seen this with Isaiah Wilson, and I'm not saying they're going to be an Isaiah Wilson, but I would not go first round for a lineman. I know this is the year for linemen, but I just would not go first round. It's just not worth it. Okay, so moving on from the Jags game, I'm just gonna go over where this team is right now. Where is this team right now, guys? That's a good question. Where is this team right now? I think us as fans are asking the same question. You know, where is this team at? When it comes to offense, left tackle issues, right tackle issues, because Nicholas Petit Frere's been struggling. I get it, he's a rookie, but he's got to step up. like I said, this is the NFL. You got to come and play dirty in this league. You got to come and play dirty in this league. You can't, yeah, you just can't let things like this happen. And this is one thing that is going to fear me for that Cowboys game. Micah Parsons is going to have a field day if Dennis Daly's out there. That's all I got to say about that because, I'm not looking forward to that game. But personally, I think we're all wondering where this team is right now. I think when you fired, when you fired your your GM, you were essentially saying, "Hey, you know, maybe we need some fresh air in this building. We need something new. We need something different." Because, I mean, yeah, it's not looking too good for this team right now. They've been on a 3-game losing streak. But I don't think I've ever seen Vrabel lose 3 games. Well, yeah, he did. He did a few years back, but that was actually his first year, so I didn't. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to be the best coach at first. He just needed the talent around him, which we eventually got. But yeah, as us as fans are wondering where this team is right now and what we can do to move forward, I guess. Sorry if my camera is freezing today. I might just need a new camera because this camera is just freezing. I'm watching this on OBS right now, and I think it might be freezing on me. So just please forgive me if it keeps freezing up on you. I'm thinking about going to get a different camera so that way, that can prevent this from happening. But yeah, let's go over. So we went over where this team is. With injuries and things like that too to add on to it. But yeah, we'll go down that road when we get there. I guess we'll just go down that road when we get there. But next I want to go over the biggest one that all of us want to see so bad, but it's not happening. It's not happening. Why? Why? Why is it not happening? Vrabel said we're not making coaching changes. We're not making coaching changes. He said we're not making coaching changes. So, guys, don't be surprised if Todd Downing's here next year. Just don't be surprised. I really hope Amy Adams at this point fires him. Something. Something. Please. Because he's like 0-3 since he had that DUI. Please get rid of him. Please. We all would like to see it. It would be a day where, and of course, I don't like to see people get fired when it comes to work, but when it comes to my favorite team, if you don't do your job, you gotta go. You just gotta go. I mean, everybody can agree with that. Everybody can agree with if you don't do your job properly, you gotta go. And Shane Bowen, he's been struggling lately. Now, part of that might be because of his injuries, but he might be gone too. So we might. I don't know if we're gonna get a new offense coordinator and defensive coordinator next year, but I'd like to see it. Just try. Just try, please. It's all I ask. Like the Dennis Daly situation, please try Raven Clark, please, or Dylan Raditz. He might not be the best, but at least try. Just try. That's all I ask. That's all we all ask is to try something new, try something different. If it's not working, why keep doing it? That's the definition of insanity. When you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, come on. So Vrabel not firing Downing. So if he's here next year, which I hope not, because who knows if Ryan Tannehill's going to be here next year. I really hope Downing's not here next year because he's going to ruin Malik Willis. Um, Next topic I want to go over is the injuries. So we haven't been seeing Danico Autry. Christian Fulton's been in and out of the lineup. Who else? Zach Cunningham's been out of the lineup for a while. David Long Jr. is out. Um, so yeah, it's only Wednesday. I'll have to look at the injury report when I do my preview of the Chargers game. Um, Next video, I'm going to do a preview of the Chargers game. I'm not going to do a preview on this video. I was, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just do a whole different video. So that way this video is not like 50 minutes long, you know. But yeah, the injuries have been like really bad. We're missing quite a bit of our key players. And yeah, it's just not looking good when it comes to the injuries. We'll have to figure it out. Um, Hopefully we can. Hopefully this medical staff is not here next year, so that way we don't have this happen again. Because they look like they need to lose their job too, along with Downing and possibly Shane Bowen. But yeah, we'll wait and see. It's been a hospital of a team this year. Just patients coming in and in and in. You know, just over and over. It's like it's not even like they're hurting something else. They're hurting the same thing. Like Christian Fulton keeps getting those. I think it's his ham. Is it his hamstring or his groin injuries? I think it's like that. And Danico Autry's out. I mean, really, guys, we gotta fire this medical staff. It's bad. It's really bad. But with that being said, I just wanted to go over, give you my thoughts on all these topics that I just went over. Um, next game next video, I will do a preview of the next game, which is the Chargers, and where I think we're at. Hopefully, we can get healthy. Hopefully, we at least have Nico Autry back to help this pass rush a little bit. But anyways, it's been your boy Prince Dub, and I'm out here. See ya.